Well, TLT World's Yasmine El-Sabawi joins us from Washington, D.C. with more on this. Yasmine, this election was seen as a referendum on the Prime Minister's character and on his authenticity. What does this result mean for his popularity, and was this expected?
By most accounts, it was expected, but pollsters didn't expect him to do as well as he did. They absolutely had predicted a liberal minority government that Justin Trudeau would essentially scrape by to retain his leadership. But now we see he's done a lot better than that, but he has not crossed the 170-seat threshold needed to form a majority government. Of the 338 seats in Parliament, the Liberals now at last count have 156. And the Conservative Party will be forming the opposition. Now, reasons for this, really, earlier this year, Justin Trudeau was involved in an ethics scandal which saw two of his cabinet ministers effectively get fired. Last month, we saw that now famous blackface incident, which he had to apologize for multiple times. And a lot of his progressive supporters will tell you that they were very much let down by his decision to purchase an oil pipeline this summer from a private company for about $4 billion. And this is, you know, from a prime minister who touted his climate change policies that he called progressive. He bought this oil pipeline saying that, you know, he needed to create jobs and essentially build support as well in Western Canada. So with climate change being as big an issue as it is in the country, and it took up a significant chunk of time in the election debates as well, many of his supporters really felt let down by that. So that could have led to the numbers we saw today.
So what happens next?
So the Liberals will now have to form a minority government. This is not uncommon in Canada. The country has seen 13 minority governments in the past. Of course, Trudeau could choose to build a coalition government with some of the other left-leaning parties, the Greens, the New Democratic Party, but that's really unlikely. He will, though, need, going forward now, to build consensus to govern. And I'm sure at this point he's really, you know, wishing his father was around for this, because Pierre Trudeau in the 70s also won back-to-back elections. The first was a majority, the second was a minority. So, you know, I'm sure he could be benefiting from his father's advice right about now if his father was still around.
All right, Yasmine El-Sabawi in Washington, D.C., thank you.